Welcome to the American Contractor Show. I'm your host, John Dye, and thank you so much for tuning in today. And we're going to do a technology demo of a really cool product, something that I think a lot of contractors don't realize is as comprehensive and does what it does. But I'm going to show you guys a behind-the-scenes look at what RoofScope does with their technology and why you guys should probably check them out. And so without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the American Contractor Show, the show that's all about American contractors living the American dream. I'm your host, John Dye. Each episode will introduce you to contractors just like you who have beaten the odds and leveled up their game to become the dominant force in their markets. Together, we'll explore the tools and tactics that unlock the secrets to their success. Join me as we begin the journey that leads to the realization of your American dream. All right, folks, I'm really excited today. We have our good friend, Mr. Tom Stockbrand here from RoofScope and Chris Lannis that are going to give us some really cool behind-the-scenes look into how RoofScope works and why it's a really unique product for the industry. So, Tom, Chris, thank you so much for being here with us today.
All right, Tom, appreciate that introduction. Pleasure to be here on the show. So thank you, John, for that. What I'd like to do today is pretty simple, some high-level stuff. Just going to show you the website, how to order a report, where we get our imagery, why we do what we do, and how we do it. So this is your home screen. This is your Let's Get Started page. So when you log in, you'll be presented with this landing page. Pretty straightforward. Just going to type in a portion of an address, and our search engine should complete the rest of the address. We're going to go ahead and search it. You'll see that our pin is going to land on the correct property. We're simply going to confirm the location. And we do measure commercial as well as multifamily and, of course, single-family residential. This, of course, is a residential property. Our price break is set at 50 squares, so we're going to consider anything up to 50 as small, anything over as large. So always choose small. If it goes over, our CAD teams will make the adjustments on the back end, not a problem. And RoofScope will measure up to 4 structures on a property. So in this case, we've got a single family residential, but if there were to be a couple sheds and maybe a detached garage, we'll include those as well. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and deselect the Include Auxiliary Structures button. You do have the ability to order a roof report, a paint report, insulation, a light report, a gutter report, siding, and concrete all at the same time on a particular property. In this case, we're going to leave it defaulted to RoofScope. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the cart. A really cool feature about our ordering process is you do have the ability to enter maybe a customer's name and or a claim number. That information will then appear on the report itself. So it's a very easy way to keep track of all of your reports. Go ahead and save it. So our guarantee for full residential reports is going to be 12 hours. Typically, they're going to come out in about 6 to 8. And we do have some options to rush that to get it out in 3 hours or less with a small surcharge. So at this point, I'm just going to hit place order. Once that report is finished up, it's then going to reside in your My Scopes page. Now your My Scopes page is backed up by the cloud. It's an online repository of everything that you've ever ordered with us. There is no fee to go back and retrieve previous reports, regardless of the time frame that has passed since it was originally ordered. So as long as you have access to the cell network, whether it be on your phone, tablet, computer, you're always going to have access to all your reports. You do have the ability to search for a particular address. So I'm going to pull up one that I like to use for demos. And you can see that I just typed in a portion of the address. It then pulled up everything associated with that address. So let's go ahead and take a look at a RoofScope X report. So this is our RoofScope X report. It's considered our light expedited report. Comes in at $11 at retail. We're going to give you not only the total square count, but we're also going to give you all the different pitches on that roof, not just, say, the predominant pitch. And we will give you 2 structures. So you can see we've got 18.8 on the first structure, and then a little detached garage in the back, 4.8 squares. And you do have the ability to take this report and upgrade it to the full report. So we give you the $11 back. Let's take a look at a full report. So this is the first of a 2-page full report. We're going to give you public imagery on the first page, so north, east, south, and west. Although these are not the images that we use to actually draw the report. We've got 6 different partners between satellite, low-flying aircraft, as well as ground views. So those images then get sent to our CAD techs. Our CAD techs are folks comprised of engineering degrees and engineering backgrounds in order to draw this highly detailed drawing. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here for you guys. So we've got a nice color-coded key down at the bottom, so you know the difference between your hips there in blue, ridge there in orange, and valleys there in purple, and so on. We're also going to summarize each individual plane. So if we take plane E here, you can see that there's 527 square feet. It's going to be on a 12-12 pitch. We're going to consider that steep, with 102 square feet of ice and water barrier called out in the hatch marks here. And then all of this information is then summarized back up on the top page. So you've got all of your slope information so that you know what to upcharge for steep slope, as well as high roof, so you know what to upcharge for your high roof. And then right down below is everything that you would need to order materials. So let's take a quick look at a siding report. So again, same property. We're going to give you the 4 aspects. So we scroll down. Of course, this is now going to be a 5-page report because your summary is going to be on page 1, and then you're going to get all 4 aspects down below. Same thing as the roof report. We're going to give you a nice color-coded drawing key here so that you know the difference between your fascia and soffit there in red, outside corner there in light blue, garage door lined out in orange, and so on. And then each individual plane is then summarized on the right side. Now we will measure windows and doors if requested. And so all of this information is then summarized up on the top page. You've got all of your measurement data for structure 1, which is the main residence, and structure 2, which is the detached garage. We also work with blueprints. So with that being said, let's take a look at a blueprint report. So you can send us over your blueprints. You don't have to worry about sorting them out. As long as somewhere in there is the floor plan, the elevations, as well as the roof plan, we can produce a report for roofs, siding, gutters, insulation, concrete, paint, whatever it may be. So we're going to pull out the north, east, south, and west aspects from that blueprint report. You'll notice the diagram looks exactly the same as an existing structure for siding. And again, all of your totals are then going to be added up there on the front page. And lastly, like I'd mentioned earlier, we do produce reports for multifamily. So if you have a multifamily project, what we're going to do is we're going to send you a numbered site map like you see here, and you're going to let us know what the uniques are so we won't end up drawing repeat buildings. So this is a multifamily report. You'll simply get back to us and say, I need, number 1, 6, 10, 11, 13, whatever it may be, and we'll go ahead and get it drawn for you. So just a closer look there at the site map that we're going to ultimately send you. So we're scrolling down here. It looks like I have a little bit of lag, but there we go. So that's the multifamily drawing. Of course, ridges there in orange. You're going to have your eaves there in red, and of course your ice and water barrier, which corresponds to your local code. It does. So we're going to assume 2 rows of ice and water barrier on the report. So your total for ice and water here is representative of 2 rows worth of square footage. So 2 rows of 3 feet makes it very easy to calculate.
Does it also take the pitch into account
We
as
will
well as the distance
add your
into the
logo
interior wall?
to any report that you would like. That's at no additional charge. So it's a very professional looking estimate report. And what I'd like to show you guys now is how we can take this measurement data, let's say from a residential report, and turn it into an estimate using Prodocs, our proprietary estimating and material order software. Jump back into the account. We're simply going to go to the correct address. We're going to generate a Prodocs document. We're going to hit estimate, and we're simply going to choose the correct manufacturer. You can see you can have as many templates as you would like.
Okay, cool.
I've got an estimate already loaded up. I chose Owens Corning for this demonstration. And so within 5 to 10 seconds, depending on your internet speed, you're going to have the ability to generate this estimate. So you can see here we've got 19.08 squares for the tear off, 64.9 linear feet of hip and ridge, all the way down to 37.4 linear feet of head wall flashing. We've got a notes section here. We leave that up to you. A lot of our customers use that for information on the company, warranty information, waivers of liability, any legal information. We're going to take your logo, put it right up here. We're going to auto-populate your information here with the customer's information auto-populated there. This is now ready to be emailed straight to your customer or adjuster. You can download it if you'd like a copy on your hard drive, although all of these documents are consistently saved to your account, which is all backed up by the cloud. You can print it out if you would like a paper copy, and you can certainly edit it if you would like any adjustments. Now, this is going to be more of a retail-facing estimate because we don't have prices aligned out, but we do have a lot of good measurement data. Within this estimate, you can add notes per line item. So maybe if you want to add that you're going to have, let's say, a 35-year warranty on a particular shingle, you can add that in there. We leave it completely up to you to customize, but we pull in all the measurement data. Now, we also have a format that is more insurance-based and insurance-facing. So as you can see here, it's the same estimate, same total, just with pricing called out per line item. And then lastly, once you win that job, it's time to order materials. And again, 5 to 10 seconds, we're going to generate a work order. So we now know, based on your particular waste factor for that job, you're going to need 63 bundles of TrueDepth shingles. We're going to need 13 pieces of D-style drip edge, all the way down to 2 cans of spray paint. This is now ready to be emailed.
That's awesome.
Yes, it's probably the most popular part of ProDocs. So this is ready to be emailed straight off to your supplier. Of course, download, print, and edit if needed. Now, lastly,
that's really cool.
Yep. Lastly, before we jump out of here, I do want to show you guys the account itself. So we're going to go back to our home page here.
There are a couple things too, though, I wanted to see. Like, I've never seen an insulation scope or a concrete scope. Like, I mean, there's people that watch this I know that are contractors that are all over the place. That's something that I've never seen from a measurement company before.
Perfect. Let's take a look at one. So I'm going to go back under Chris, My Scopes. And again, I'll search for that particular address. Choose an installation scope. And these reports are not only going to reside in your My Scopes page, but every time you order a report, it's also going to be delivered to you via email. But you can always access them here. So I'm going to download a PDF. Let's look at an installation report. And this is based on Owens Corning blow-in insulation. So again, we'll give you the 4 aspects there.
Okay.
Take a look at the report. So what we're looking at is the surface area of that roof.
That's cool.
So we use, again, our satellite low-flying aircraft and ground views to do the trigonometry. Our CAD techs work their magic. So you now know at what particular depth how many bags of insulation you're going to need and what the square footage of that surface area is. So that's all going to be summarized again here on the top page. And so again, depending on the depth needed, this is how many bags of blow-in insulation you're going to need.
Right. That's a great tool because, I mean, that's always been something that I've seen contractors, especially roofing contractors, want to get into insulation, and measuring out how much they're going to need, how many bags, and then how the depth works is, I mean, that's a sales tool right there. Because if I know that I need to do, if someone wants to go to R49, I can give them that option. Plus, I can give them the R60 option as well. And for most people, if they understand why that's more important, they'll go with that.
Absolutely. It's definitely a great
cool
upselling tool, for sure. And I think you had mentioned concrete scope. Let's take a quick look at that. I'll show you the gutters next as well. All right. So again, you've got your 4 aspects here. Let's take a look at the drawing. I chose this one because it's.
It's got the.
I chose this one because it's pretty straightforward,
cool.
But we can get as complex as needed. So whether that be a commercial parking lot, whether that be a driveway, sidewalks in a neighborhood. If um, you get a job in a neighborhood, they want to rip up all the sidewalks. Great for that as well. So you do get a diagram, and then depending on the depth, just like the insulation scope, we're going to tell you how many cubic feet you're going to need for that job.
I like that. That's cool.
And lastly, let's take a quick peek at a gutter scope. So we're going to give you a drawing key here that outlines the gutters, the structure, first, second, third, fourth story downspouts, however many stories the structure may be. And we're going to summarize all that information right up here at the top. And a lot of times when you're working on a roof, you're going to have to do work on the gutters. So this is going to give you
Yep.
the linear feet of gutters, downspout, number of end caps, inner elbows, outer elbows, eave soffit depth, everything that you would need to
Well,
price out.
and that's a measurement that a lot of contractors lose money on because they're always short because they're not taking into effect all the elbows, all the miters, all the end caps, all the things that you guys are including on this. And the downspouts, I mean, everyone always says, well, every downspout 2 stories, 20 feet, but it's really not like that. It's a lot more complex than that. And so to have this accurate report, I mean, that's a game changer.
And the other important thing to note about this is this measurement data does not refer to what's actually existing on the structure. What it refers to is what it needs to be up to code. So if a contractor is working with an insurance claim and they say, we didn't agree to pay for the gutters, well, here's the situation with the gutters previously, and here's the report that says what it needs to be up to code, and that's why we did the work.
I like it. I like it a lot. That's really cool.
And so that is basically all the different types of reports that we offer, how to order, products, and then I'd like to show you a couple key features on the account itself. So I'm simply going to go into my details. So you have the ability to add a CC recipient. So this is going to be an office manager, project manager, somebody that needs to see every single report. You can also CC people before you check out just for that report. But if you CC them here, they're going to get all the notifications. They're going to get all the reports. We do integrate with Job Nimbus as well as GiddyUp. Tom, am I missing any there? So we do integrate with Job Nimbus as well as GiddyUp.
I think that's correct.
Don't think I'm missing any there, possibly. You can add as many team members as you would like on the account. So the important thing to note here is that your team members are only going to be able to see the reports that they order. But I, as the administrator, have the ability to see exactly what everybody's ordering. So if somebody's ordering too much, not enough, you can have that conversation. And lastly, we have the ability to register your phone to your account. You can simply text an address to this phone number, which is your account. It's going to ping you back, and it's going to ask you what type of report would you like.
Oh, wow.
And we'll get going on it that way. So that's a great tool if you're out in the field. You don't have time to jump online. You don't have time to give us a call. Just simply text it straight to your account.
That's really cool. That's a really cool feature. There's a lot of stuff here that I've never seen from a scope company before, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on that this has got some features that are definitely really unique to you guys, and I think there's a lot of stuff here that makes it a lot easier to order reports from you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So the ordering process is pretty straightforward, very easy. We are contractor facing. We're owned by a contractor. We were founded by a contractor, and we actually share the same building as his construction business, which is one of the largest here in Denver. So everything that you see here, whether it be the ordering process, whether it be the easy readability of the report, whether it be the estimation and material order process, all originated from the mind of a contractor.
Yeah, you can tell that because there's a lot of features here that are things that I'm thinking about as a contractor that I, wish I could have had in a report, but didn't realize that they were there. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times I wish I had an insulation report or a concrete report or, something along the lines of that text feature. Like that's so cool. And then taking all that, building it into your estimate, building it into your material order sheets, having that ability directly from this without having to go through 10 other hoops and jumps. I mean, this is a really great tool
Absolutely.
For contractors.
And that's what we do all day, every day, is help people grow their business. And that's very, very rewarding for all of us.
No, it really is. This is a great tool. I'm going to encourage contractors that are watching this to hop on here and try them out, get some reports, because this is one of the best by far, that is most comprehensive and most that has the most features that from a measurement standpoint that I've ever seen from a reporting company. And I really appreciate you guys not only being sponsors of the show, but also taking some time to show this to us and give us a really good in-depth demo of what's really possible when they use RoofScope. So thank you, Chris and Tom, for sharing this with us today.
It's been an absolute pleasure. And of course, like you mentioned, if anybody has any interest, if you want to check us out, please feel free to give us a quick call. Our customer service line will get you in touch with the appropriate rep. We typically like to run that first handful of reports as a free trial, so we'd be more than happy to do that. Just reach out to 877-910-5081. Thank you.
Good deal, man. I appreciate it, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and
Awesome.
we'll see you
Thank
guys soon. But thank you
Talk
so
to you
much
soon.
for doing this. Thanks so much for watching today's show. Make sure to like and subscribe our pages so that you can stay up to date with every episode. And by the way, this show is all about you, the American contractor. Be sure to comment and let us know what you want to hear about and what subjects you want us to touch on. We'll be sure to include them in a future episode. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great day.